Clickbait. Clickbait is a trap designed not to steal money directly, but to capture your attention and drive traffic to a website. It uses sensational, misleading, or emotionally charged headlines that create a gap in your curiosity, forcing you to click to resolve it. These links often lead to low-quality websites filled with ads, which generate revenue for the creator. While not always malicious in a criminal sense, clickbait traps waste your time and can sometimes lead to pages loaded with malware or aggressive advertising that compromises your device's security. Tech support scam. A tech support scam is a trap that convinces you that your computer has a serious problem that requires immediate professional help. It often starts with a pop-up window on your screen, blaring alarm sounds, and displaying a fake error message from Microsoft or Apple, instructing you to call a phone number immediately. If you call, the scammer pretends to be a technician who gains remote access to your computer. Once inside, they might install actual malware, steal files, or demand payment for a problem that never existed in the first place. Romance scam. A romance scam involves an attacker creating a fake online profile on a dating app or social media platform to build a romantic relationship with the victim. Over weeks or months, they cultivate deep emotional trust, often claiming to be living abroad or working on an oil rig to explain why they cannot meet in person. Eventually, they fabricate a crisis, such as a medical emergency, a legal problem, or a sudden travel issue, and ask the victim to send money. The financial losses from these scams are often the highest among internet traps due to the intense emotional investment involved. Smishing. Smishing is the text message equivalent of phishing, with the name combining SMS and phishing. You receive a text message on your phone claiming to be from a legitimate company, like a bank alerting you to fraud, a package carrier about a missed delivery, or a government agency about a tax refund. These messages rely on the fact that people often trust text messages more than email and tend to act impulsively on their phones. The text usually includes a link or a phone number, both of which lead directly to a scam designed to harvest your data. Fake shopping website. A fake shopping website is a meticulously crafted online store that looks identical to a legitimate retailer or offers impossibly good deals on high-demand items. These sites are designed to capture your payment information, but you will never receive the product you ordered. They often use professional logos, fake customer reviews, and countdown timers to create a false sense of urgency. After the transaction, the site may disappear or simply process orders endlessly without shipping anything, leaving the buyer with no recourse, as the scammer has already stolen their credit card details. Man-in-the-middle attack. A man-in-the-middle attack occurs when a hacker secretly intercepts communication between two parties who believe they are talking directly to each other. This often happens on unsecured public Wi-Fi networks in places like coffee shops or airports. The attacker creates a fake Wi-Fi hotspot with a convincing name, and when you connect, they can see everything you send, including login credentials and financial data. Without realizing it, you are transmitting your sensitive information directly to the attacker, who can then use it to access your accounts. Phishing. Phishing is a direct attempt to trick you into revealing sensitive information like passwords or credit card numbers by pretending to be a legitimate entity. It most commonly arrives in the form of an email that appears to be from a trusted source, such as your bank, a popular online store, or even a colleague. The message usually creates a sense of urgency, claiming your account is compromised or that you've missed a delivery, and prompts you to click a link. That link leads to a fake website designed to look real, where anything you type is instantly stolen. Subscription trap. A subscription trap hides recurring charges behind a free trial or a small upfront purchase. You sign up for what appears to be a one-time service or a low-cost trial, but the terms are buried in fine print. The site makes canceling intentionally difficult, often requiring a phone call during limited hours or navigating through endless pages. Victims often notice small recurring charges on their bank statements for months for a service they used only once. These traps exploit the fact that many people do not scrutinize small recurring transactions on their credit card bills. Spear phishing. Spear phishing is a more targeted version of the standard phishing attack. Instead of sending out thousands of generic emails to random people, the attacker researches a specific individual, often an employee at a company or an executive. They use details gathered from social media or public records to craft a highly personalized message, making it seem like it's coming from a trusted coworker, a known vendor, or a superior. Because the email references real projects, names, or internal jargon, it has a much higher chance of bypassing suspicion and tricking the recipient into handing over credentials or wiring money. Malvertising. Malvertising is the use of legitimate-looking online advertisements to spread malware. Attackers buy ad space on reputable websites and embed malicious code within the ad creative itself. Even if you never click the ad, simply loading the web page can trigger the code, redirecting your browser to a malicious site, or silently downloading malware onto your device. This trap is particularly dangerous because it exploits trust in well-known high-traffic websites, meaning you can be infected without ever making a single mistake in judgment. Vishing. Vishing occurs over the phone. Scammers use automated robocalls or pose as live representatives from institutions like the IRS, tech support, or your bank. They often use caller ID spoofing to make the number appear legitimate on your screen. The goal is to create a state of fear or confusion, convincing you that you owe money, your computer is infected, or your identity has been stolen. Once they have you on the line, they pressure you into revealing personal information or making a payment through irreversible methods like gift cards or wire transfers. Quishing. Quishing uses QR codes as the primary weapon. An attacker places a malicious QR code in a public place, on a fake parking meter, in an email, or on a physical letter. When you scan the code with your smartphone, it directs you to a fraudulent website designed to steal login credentials or prompt you to download malware. Because people are conditioned to trust QR codes for menus and payments, and because mobile browsers often show less security information than desktop ones, quishing has become an increasingly effective way to bypass traditional email security filters.
Advance fee fraud. Often known as the Nigerian prince scam, advance fee fraud is one of the oldest traps on the internet. A stranger contacts you with an incredible story about a large sum of money being stuck in a foreign bank account, an unclaimed inheritance, or a lottery you never entered. They promise to share the fortune with you, but you must pay a small upfront fee to cover taxes, legal fees, or administrative costs. Once you pay the first fee, a new fee appears, and the cycle continues until you stop paying, with the promised millions never materializing.
Fake invoice or overpayment scam. This trap targets freelancers, small businesses, and people selling items online. The scammer sends a check or electronic payment for an amount much larger than the agreed price, claiming it was an accident. They then ask the victim to wire back the overage amount or pay a separate vendor before the original payment is discovered to be fraudulent. Because banks often make funds available before the check fully clears, the victim thinks the money is real. When the initial payment bounces days later, the victim is left responsible for the full amount they sent to the scammer.